As you may notice, that lovely lady on the other side, that's Deandra. Hey, Deandra!
What up, Ronbo?
Well, it's time. It's, fam, if you didn't know, it's GM time when we ask you to tell us what you think would it take to improve the 49ers' chances in the year 2019. Last week we saw Tony. We've also had the fun of watching each and every year. Actually, Tony and Cool Whips have already done their thing. Now, Theundra's going to come in and outperform both of them.
I don't know about all that. I'm gonna do my best.
So, Theandra, are you ready to roll?
I'm ready.
All right, let's start with your 49ers free agents.
Let's see. My free agents. Robbie Gould. I would like to keep him.
Okay.
Mike Pearson. Bradley Pinion. Antoine Exum. Raheem Mostert. Elijah Lee. And Colin Hoba.
All right. All right. Now you got to resign these guys. What do you got in mind?
I would like to re-sign Robbie. I know he's not really wanting to be in San Francisco. If we can't sign him, I mean, I saw what you posted. There's not a lot of options, but being a kicker, it is a mind game, and I don't know if I want him here. Not really wanting to be here, his heart and his mind somewhere else. But if I could re-sign him, I would re-sign him because I really feel like we do need a kicker that we can count on. Um, Mike Pearson, Bradley Pinion, of course, we need him because he's like the only one on the roster anyway. And the other ones that I kept, I really want to keep Mostert because of what he showed on the field last year. I don't think
Yes.
he's done.
Oh,
I hated what happened to him, but he was so explosive.
what
I'm
you?
like, you can't let that go.
Hmm.
And Elijah Lee, of course, because we still need help in our defense, in our secondary. I'm not a secondary, but with our linebackers. And then Colin Hoba, our long snapper is supposed to be suspended for 10 games. So because of that,
I'm glad
for
you brought that up.
performance
Is he
enhancement,
suspended going into this year? I thought his suspension. Oh, that's right. He
I
was.
thought it was going into this year. Because when I was doing the research, it was like he's supposed to be suspended 10 games. I don't know if he'll get the full 10 or not. And so we brought Colin Hoba up to
Yeah.
finish out the rest of the year. So I
Mhm.
just decided to keep him. He didn't do a bad job,
No.
so might as well re-sign him because I don't know if they're going to let him play or not. And we gotta have a long snapper. So
Yeah. And
so
it really is amazing how 10 game suspension. They may as well just say,
that's
well,
a
that's it.
lot.
Yeah, I mean that's over half the season. All
Yeah, that's a
right.
lot.
So therefore, now who are you going to cut in this case?
Well, let's see. Cuts. I'm sorry, but I'm about to say bye to Cassius Marks
Oh,
and his round kick. I like it, but I mean, to bring in a new talent that we need, you got to cut somebody.
yeah.
So, I mean, we can put him on the practice squad. I mean,
Yeah.
somebody maybe not pick him up. Who knows? I will cut Alfred Morris, Greg
Oh,
Maven.
yeah.
Sorry, Greg, you're my boy. Tyvis Powell,
Mm.
Tyree Robinson, and
Hmm.
Godwin. I can't even pronounce his last name.
Mm.
But those
I know
guys who I would cut.
I know what you're talking about. I try to pronounce it too. His vowels and
Yeah, I
consonants
don't
are
know.
arranged in such a way that it makes it hard to pronounce it. But we know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
But go ahead.
I will cut him, and those are my cuts. Oh, and I think I left off. What is that? Mark Nizocha?
Oh,
Nizocha?
Ziocha. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Zocha. Yeah, I
You,
will
you,
cut him
you
too.
realize he almost made the All Star team last year. But then again, they
I
said
don't
it's
care.
because if he had the entire country of Germany voting for him, so that may have skewed the results a little
Yeah,
bit.
I don't care about the All Star game. Like, I mean, great,
I
congratulations,
mean the
but
Pro Bowl. I'm sorry.
no, yeah, I was thinking All Star. Okay, well, Pro
I
Bowl,
get
yeah. I
baseball.
mean, that's
Baseball and basketball have All Star games, but the NFL has
the Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowl. I always get that mixed up.
Nah,
Oh
it's
God.
okay. I'll pass.
Yeah. Poor Mark. Well, Mark, you'll be okay. All right. Hey, yeah, she said Tyvis Powell. And Tyree Robinson. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna let's run down through those real quick. Now the players who will be resigned, the under says Robbie Gould is worth resigning, and she's going to do everything she can to
He
get
is.
him back. Bradley Pinion, also the man who's going to have to stay with us if we're going to keep Robbie. You don't want him to be lonely. Elijah Lee is going to be kept in for depth no matter what the
Hmm.
49ers do in the linebacker core, whether it be free agency or the draft. Elijah Lee has proven his worth on this team and should be at least there for depth. And then there's Mike Person, hardest working man in football. Mike Person's that guy that comes out and plays the broke leg. He won't tell anybody either. He'll come right out there.
Right.
The dude is tough.
Yes.
Raheem Mostert.
That's my
Bobby
boy.
Turner. Oh, the other Bobby Turner has turned that dude into. I mean, Raheem was okay last year, but this year he shifted up to another gear.
I know. I'm so sad he broke his arm. Like,
I was too. I couldn't believe it. Because he was having a great game. There's no telling how many yards he was going to pile up in that game. He
no
was
telling.
performing.
He
Gosh.
was.
That run back behind McGlinchey, that was epic. I
It
mean,
was
that was,
beautiful.
ooh, that was nice.
And I'm
And,
hoping he come back with fire because I think he got a taste,
yeah,
Like he
yeah.
got a taste of what he could do. And I'm hoping that he builds on that.
As you know,
I'm pretty sure he
and
can.
as long as he doesn't fumble the ball, and Bobby seems to have told him something. He quit fumbling at last few games. And
Yeah, he got
if
a lot
his,
better.
yeah, if his confidence gets up, Raheem Mostert, honestly, between you and me, he outperformed Matty B the last two games they played together.
He did. He was so explosive and you know, I like excitement. I'm a defensive person, but to watch the offense, I mean, he was explosive. I could definitely see what he brought to the field. I mean, he's a playmaker, and
Mm,
we need playmakers, especially
mm.
since I did not go after the initial boys. That's what I'm gonna call them.
And also, Colin, Colin Hoba, we're going to need him for long snapping duties,
Yes,
and Antone Exum Jr. Old school hits. Them kind of hits that
yeah,
the NFL will now issue a fine. See, I kind of like that idea. And
yep.
I hope that the 49ers pick up the fines. Don't reel him in. Just maybe target your shots a little better. But continue with that aggressiveness. I like that a lot.
That's what I like. I like aggressiveness,
Yeah, boy, he
and
is
that's why I
too.
want to keep him. Yeah,
Yes. All right. Now, Theodore's getting rid of Cassius Marsh, kicks and all. Mark and Ziocha. It's not a matter of whether or not he's a Pro Bowler. He's got to go. Greg Maben,
I don't
thank the
care.
Lord for that. Alfred Morris. I feel sorry for Alfred, but he is getting up there in time.
I do too. He
And we've
is.
got Wilson did a good job, so he sort of took Alfred's job if there was one. And Godwin Igwabuki, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna give that a. I'm hoping that might be right. And Tyvis, goodbye, pal. I've been trying to get rid of Tyvis Powell. Every time the 49ers keep bringing him back out there, the first thing I
I don't
do
know
is break
why.
out into a sweat. Oh, I do not like Tyvis Powell.
No, no.
Good cut. And Tyree Robinson, I don't really know much about Tyree.
I don't either. That's why I cut him. I was like, I don't even know who he is, so we can cut him.
So there you go. All right, let us move on to. And by the way, and you can vote in the app for Theater. You'll see the poll in there. Go right in there, and you can wait. I'm just letting you know where to go vote for. You can wait and see more of a presentation. All right. So now we're gonna need. And by the way, if you have any questions, hashtag Q, followed by your question. We'll get them to our GM of the day. Hashtag Q question. Theater, I'll give it to her. And now, Theater, are you ready for your NFL free agents to add to this roster that's
Yes, I
about to
am.
steamroll?
Yes. I want to add Trey Flowers, Anthony Barr, and even your boy Earl Mitchell. Even though he had the
Yeah.
injury, I still want to add him because I feel like if we draft safeties or the safeties that we have here, he has great insights. I seen a workout video of him on Twitter with him running around the track. This dude is running upstairs, so I'm like, he don't seem like the injury's going to affect him. So I'm willing to take a chance on him. I'm willing to take a chance because I mean he's one of the best players at his position in the league.
Wow. Hey, Theater, you
So
saw
why
you
not?
saw recent training film then, huh?
Yeah, it
I
was
gotta
on
see
Twitter.
that.
First, he was
Okay.
running around the track, and then, and it wasn't like 40 speed, but it's the fact that he's already running right now. And there was a video of him doing like stair climbs, like in a stadium, running up and down the
Stadium
steps.
stare, yeah. Stadium steps,
Yeah,
yeah.
and he looked like a man on a mission. Like he looks like he's out to prove that he got
He-
plenty left.
yeah.
And I want that on my team. If
All
you try
right.
to make a statement and make a point, you can do it right over here in a 49er uniform.
Amen to that. All
So,
right. Continue.
and that's pretty much all I did free agency. I didn't go the big wide receiver route.
All right.
I did, I ain't gonna say
Yeah.
why, but yeah, I decided to draft because we're not a receiver away. It's not like we're AB or Odell away from winning the Super Bowl. We have so many holes to fill. If
Wait.
they would give them to us for,
Hold it right
go
there. I
ahead.
just want to go back over what you just did. All right. Now, the under's potential free agent signs are defensive end Trey Flowers. She's got, and I know she got him down for 5 years, 60 million with a $28 million guarantee. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And outside linebacker Anthony Barr, give him 5 years, 32 mil,
Mm-hmm.
and with 15 million guaranteed. And also Earl, the legendary free safety of the Legion of Doom. I just had Legion of Doom. A Legion of Boom.
Boom.
4 years, 54 million, which is quite nice for Earl at his age.
It
Because at
is.
34, he'll probably slow down. With a $25 million guarantee. And by the way,
Right.
Theodore, you know what I like about that? The
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys ain't got that kind of money to offer Earl. This is very possible
Exactly.
because the Cowboys will tell Earl, sit down there. We know you're from Texas and you want to come home. I'm gonna give you a contract that's Earl. Now listen, before you say anything else, it's gonna be about a $3 million contract. But Earl, I'm gonna put in so many incentives and bonuses that you will be satisfied. You can potentially make, and then and Earl's gonna say, wait, whoa, 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 what if I break my leg again?
Mm-hmm.
See, that's why we got a good chance of this. Earl, the word on Earl is he is dying to play with Dallas. The Cowboys have to sign DeMarcus Lawrence. They got to worry about
Mm-hmm.
Dak. Zeke's contract is coming up soon. They got a lot of money issues that they got to tend to. Is Earl Thomas going to be somebody that they drop somebody else for? Because DeMarcus Lawrence, they got to pay him. And DeMarcus already said, if y'all tag me, I swear to God, I'm sitting out this entire season. So
Right.
you got to take him seriously. So you're right.
Right. Yeah, I thought about that too, and it'll make him the highest paid. But it doesn't really look like that if it's structured right, because if he plays all years, it's averaged out to 3.5 million a year, which the highest player get paid. I can't remember his name, 3 million, and that's pretty much what he wants. He wants to be the highest paid.
Yeah.
But if we make his 25 million guaranteed and we paid it up front, because we got cap space, with a
Yep.
signing bonus,
Yep.
and go ahead and have it paid out, we could
Yep.
actually cut him after the first 2 years, and he never. I know this sounds bad, but never sees the full value of that contract. So looking at it, it does seem like a lot. He will be the highest paid, but we could walk away from it after 2 years.
That's what you do, Theo. I like that.
Hmm.
Business sense. Front load them
Yeah,
contracts.
front loaded. And it was the same with the other two. I didn't make them the highest paid. Anthony Barr, he probably would want to be. There's flexibility in it. A lot of the people in the 4-3 linebackers, their contracts are, they don't have a lot of guarantee. They look good on the outside. So his guaranteed money is what's supposed to entice him.
All right. I
So
like that. All right. I got a couple of questions here for you. Sheik the Freak, he says,
she
he says, why did you cut Marsh? You don't like his samurai kicks, and we needed his depth.
because with the draft and the players that we're adding, I didn't see especially if I because I kept Art Armstead for one. I didn't really want to at 9 million, but I did keep him,
Yeah.
and because I kept him, not that I wouldn't be open to trade him later, but because I kept him, you got to make room, and he was just one of the guys that I cut. He's maybe a 3-tier football player. 3-tier. You want to build your team with 1 and 2 tiers if possible. I didn't see a reason to keep him an extra year. And I mean, yeah, maybe what do you get, 4 or 5 sacks a year? I mean,
Somewhere in there. Yeah.
yeah. So
I'm
I
not sure
just
exactly.
didn't see the value.
All right.
I
And
mean,
that's
worst case
understandable.
scenario, he don't get picked up by nobody. We need depth. we'll call him in the middle of the season. Hey, my boy,
See, see, that's how
welcome
you run
back.
a team.
Welcome back.
There you go. And here's another question from Big Show. Wants to
Hey,
know
Big Show.
yeah, oh yeah, you know the Big Show. The Big Show's always got
Yeah,
controversy going on. Let me
I
see what this
know.
question's about though. He says, per your call a while back, he's talking about you. He says, I remember
Hmm.
if Kyle's system doesn't require a true number one, then why did you go hard after OBJ in 2017? We'll again pursue him and will potentially land AB. Big Show, I'm not sure about this question. Do you understand this question?
I never like I'm open to them, but I would never go after them hard because I mean I understand why the number ones they're sexy, everybody likes them, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean you can win a Super Bowl without one,
And they do
and
every year.
yeah, and they do every year. Like there's a lot of number one receivers that ain't got a ring,
Mm-hmm.
but I just didn't feel like at this time. Now, if we were one, if that's only the player we needed to make a Super Bowl run, then yeah, go all out, get what you need. If that's all you need, but we
Mm-hmm.
got too many holes to fill to sink all of our put all of our eggs in one basket after a wide
Mm.
receiver. Because what good is it gonna do if we're up 45 points and the other team has 40 points and they're driving down the field at the end of the game?
All right.
AB
That
can't.
is
I mean, AB and OBJ can't play defense, so
nope.
we got too many holes in the defense. And as you saw with the Super Bowl with the Patriots, like I said when we done the our show, it's probably gonna be tight the first two quarters, and then the Patriots will pull it out in the end because there was a
Mm-hmm.
defensive battle. Now, get me wrong, the offenses didn't play great, but
Mm-hmm.
you got to have a defense. The high-powered offenses will get you to the wild cards, to get you to the playoffs, but you're gonna have to have defense if you want a real chance to win a Super Bowl.
That is the gospel truth, and it's been proven time and time again, over and over. Every single year, that is the case. I'm trying to think of the last time an offense-heavy team won the Super Bowl. I'm also, and we this question's been hit upon a lot of forums and platforms about how many times has a team actually won a Super Bowl with a premier wide receiver.
Because
You have
think
to
about
go
it, it's
all the way
two
back to
weeks
Jerry Rice. Uh, yeah,
back.
you got to go way back. That was the day when that was happening. Now, you're right. The defense will
Not
shut
so
all
much.
that off, especially the Belichick dynasty. He's going to
They
take
got
away
2 weeks
your.
to plan for your
Yeah.
number one wide receiver. They got 2 whole weeks in between the last game and the Super Bowl to plan against your number one receiver. And that's if that's all the offense you got, then they
In
will make
trouble.
you one dimensional, and that's what you don't want to be in the Super
In
Bowl.
trouble.
Is one dimensional or predictable.
As a matter of fact,
That's
the
why we
other.
got all these weapons.
That's it. What did Julio do? Julio, was he actually instrumental in that game? They lost, but how much? I can't remember
I
Julio's
can't
stats.
remember. I will have to pull it up.
Yeah.
I don't now. I didn't really pay attention to him specifically. I can't remember exactly what he done in the Super Bowl, but I do know I was at the game that the 49ers played the Falcons before they went to the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah.
I went to that game in Atlanta, and I remember looking at the offense, which we didn't have Kyle then, which is why I'm so excited because I was at that game and I was mad at our defense because I'm like, why is everybody wide open? Like, but that's just the way his offense was.
Yeah.
And there's nothing against Julio. Julio's a great wide receiver, but he alone was not enough. Now I know there's debate out there about what decisions was made and all of that, but at the end of the day, I mean, we're not a wide receiver away from a Super Bowl
Yeah.
championship. We're
And,
not.
and you're absolutely right. And this is why spending too much on just that position, especially just like you said, Kyle Shanahan's going to get guys from the local high school open in his offense. That's just the way it works with him. So it probably, if you're going to spend wisely. If it's too expensive, pass. So
Yeah,
I
just
kind of agree
pass.
with that. I do. And unless you're
But
Belichick and you're getting ready to go ahead, and Belichick does this every year. He goes out and he finds one more receiver. Have you noticed that? Because Belichick knows
mm-hmm.
that's what it takes to get to the playoffs, or it'll facilitate getting to the playoffs. But when you get to the Super Bowl, you tell that receiver to take his day off because he ain't gonna be the man. It's gonna be Edelman and short passing
Mm-hmm.
game the whole way to running back.
Yep.
So yeah,
Exactly.
I agree.
And are you still there?
Hey, I'm listening.
Hello?
DeAndre? Uh-oh, did we lose you? The under, can you hear me? Yeah.
Oh, are you there? I lost you for a second.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Ah, good. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
I have another question. JD, his question is Barr, Earl Thomas, and Flowers will all command big contracts. And we're going to extend Buckner. How do you think they'll be able to pay all these guys?
Um, I didn't want to sign. I do want to sign Buckner back, but didn't want to do it this year. We do have a lot of cap space, but we do need to secure these three. And I'm figuring if we front load them
Mm-hmm.
or make them pay out, make the guaranteed money paid out at least within the first 2 or 3 years of their contract, then we should be able to pay Buckner. I didn't do it this year because we need so much help. Um, I mean, worst case scenario, we could have signed him this year and got him at a cheaper rate than
Mm-hmm.
if he beast out. Because think if we give him a true edge rusher and he has help with Barr who can blitz. Think about his numbers that he'll be able to make. But I'd rather worry about that problem in the latter end of
Mm-hmm.
paying him higher, because you still probably we was going to probably pay him what top 10, maybe top
Mm-hmm.
8 anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't mind him balling out this year
Mm-hmm.
and inflate his numbers or inflate a reason for when he signs his contract. I'm gonna need you to beast out, especially if we get this help. So I don't know. I honestly don't.
Mm-hmm.
But I figured if we front load most of these contracts, or at least have them paid out within the first 2 or 3 years, then you don't necessarily have to worry about paying them on the back end.
Mm-hmm. And
Or you could do
Solomon
some of them like a
Thomas,
1 year deal, 1 year,
that's
2 year
true.
deal, but you don't
That's
have to.
true.
I went because they're still young. Like you'll get a older guy or veteran guy in here. You'll make them do a 1 year prove it deal, but they're still young, and I really feel like they haven't even peaked yet. So that's why I offered them the 5 year. But you don't have to do 5 year. You can do 3 or 2. But I
Mm.
don't think it would be an issue to get Buckner because you know what? We ain't gonna sign Eric back.
Eric,
No,
I know Eric
no,
Armstead.
that's Buckner's money right there. Armstead.
I really do wonder because we got 2 weeks ago before we find out about Eric. And here's the thing: next year, if Solomon Thomas can go 3 solid years of no improvement, it may be time to say, Solomon,
Yep, let him go too.
we got
So
to say goodbye.
we'll cut some players if we have to and get rid of
Yeah,
them because we're gonna make room for Buck.
you're gonna have
I
to.
have a feeling though. I hope Armstead balls out because he notices like this is it. Like if it's due is now or never.
Yeah.
And I still wouldn't sign him even if he did do great. I probably still wouldn't pick him back up.
And especially if you see something out there with more potential. And you
Yeah,
look at that rookie contract. What if Katavius Street comes in and nobody can do a thing with him? Now that
a
makes
thing with
Armstead
him.
expendable. So
Hmm.
yeah, you're right to wait a minute on that. I like that idea. As I say, in Solomon Thomas, Katavius Street does a good job this year. There's other sacrificial lambs you can actually get rid of uh,
Yeah.
all over the field, and therefore it's a solid idea. Uh, Also, San Francisco says, "Hi, Thunder. Sorry, I'm late. Did you make any changes to the running back room?" And he says he hopes not.
No,
You are
I
late,
just
but
kept
Theater, go
Moser.
ahead, make it feel better.
No, I just kept Moser. I didn't make any changes. I feel pretty confident with the running back core that we got. I know some fans, and that's another thing. Being a GM and being a fan at the same time is so hard. Because fan wise, I know a lot of
Yes.
fans want that bruiser back. For because Kyle Shanahan offense is great until you get inside the 20, because
Yep.
he like to spread defenses out, and you can't do that when you're down in
In the
the
red
red zone
zone.
because you
Yeah.
don't have that much space. So a lot of people want that bruiser back so our red zone efficiency could pick up. But I'm thinking, I'm pretty confident with the guys that we got. We hadn't seen McKinnon. That would be another, he could catch out the backfield. And I'm really excited about Kittle because he said his route running he's like number 3, and
Mm-hmm.
he has to work on his route running
Yep.
this off season, which he is.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty confident in our offense. I know we had red zone issues, but I think we'll be fine.
All
It ain't
right.
like we
All right.
can't score points.
No. I know, that's the thing. And also, we need to stay out of that red zone situation as much as possible. Kyle likes to hit home runs. We got the running backs to do so. But when we do
Mm-hmm.
get down there, like you said, Robbie, you can't leave Robbie. We got to
No.
three anyway. Let me tell San Francisco. Hey, during the fan gathering afterward, I will do the happy birthday song, okay? Because it's his birthday yesterday. I don't know why people want
Oh,
me to
happy
sing happy
birthday.
birthday. Why is it? My singing is the worst in the world. And Sheik has also wants to know, with Jimmy G coming back from his injury, uh, thoughts on the O line.
Um, well, I tried to address it with the draft itself. Our O line, and that's the reason why I kept some of them. I know we need guard help, but towards the end of the year, they started to kind of gel. They started to get better as the year progressed. I
Mm-hmm.
think Jimmy is going to have to uh, get rid of the ball quick. And then what you fail to
Mm-hmm.
realize, it was Beathard back there, which he holds on to the ball way too long anyway. So it's going
Mm-hmm.
to make our offensive line look a little worse than what it was, worse for wear. But they actually, played pretty good towards the end of the season. So I'm not too worried about the offensive line. I think they'll be fine. I'm not saying that we might not have a few issues, a few
Mm-hmm.
plays here and there, but overall, I think they're starting to gel. I think they're starting to fill each other out, and that's the only reason why I didn't want to start rotating more offensive linemen in there because I need them to gel. I need them to feed off
Mm.
each other. I need them to not think and just know what each other is doing because they
Yes.
played together. So I'm
Yes.
thinking that'll be fine. And then if there's any issues, we already know Jimmy G ain't got no problem being a manager on the field.
Yes,
He
indeed.
will he'll help he'll help and guide them. So I'm not too worried. I think he'll be fine.
And
He'll be
then
fine.
remember that last 5 game streak that we went through with Jimmy G was starring? It's about the quarterback. Tom Brady, all the guys that get Aaron Rodgers, you look at the guys that get rid of the ball quick. Nobody talks about their
Mm-hmm.
offensive line. But chances are good their
No,
offensive line is not even as good as the 49ers offensive line. That offensive line, just like you said, a lot of people don't understand. You keep rotating offensive line, and your offensive line will always look like crap. You let those guys get together for a while and they become one. Now they're solid. 'Cause
right.
I fully agree with that.
I
I
mean, look at
would,
golf in the Super Bowl. I mean,
yeah,
he was he was confused. He dropped back. It's
yeah,
like his first two reads gone.
yeah.
Um, and he was like because he can't read a deep. I'm not gonna say he can't read a defense,
Well,
but
he's not real
he's
quick with that after it because,
he's not
like you
real
said,
quick
though.
with it. So he
Mm.
was, people was like, he's look like a deer. It's too big for him. The stage too big. It's not the stage too big for him. It's just that Bill Belichick got him outside his comfort zone. They even got Brady outside his comfort zone. He looked frustrated too. But
A
it's
few
just that
times.
his offensive line didn't look great. I mean, they didn't look that great, but it was because he held onto the ball too long.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't know where to go once, his first or second read, or
Mm-hmm.
was he didn't know where to throw the ball at that point. He didn't know what he was looking at. Um he didn't figure that out, and that's
Mm-hmm.
why if you heard the commentator say they're not lining up, they're trying to take all the time before they line up so that Bill Belichick can't you know tell his defense
Readjust.
what to do. They're waiting
Yeah.
they're waiting till the speakers cut out, so when they line up, Bill Belichick can't tell them, hey, just so he'll be
You
fine.
know, that's so true because Belichick already knew. The word on the Rams was they get frustrated when they can't get their offense to run, and golf is not of the level yet that he can ad lib. So
No,
now
not that
Belichick
he
knew
can't pick
that.
them apart.
That's it. That's exactly what they did.
They
And
like
that
those
offense,
bombs down the field. That's first, second read.
yeah,
They get open. You just chunk that ball. That's all you do. Drop back and throw it.
that's
But
it.
he could. They have the routes crossed up. The
And
secondary, he know where to
and
go.
and T that the Rams offensive line was one of the best in the NFL.
It
That's
didn't look like
why,
it then, though, did
yes,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, he'll be
Coach,
fine. I think
yeah.
he'll be fine.
Coach wants to know. He says, "My question is, do you always look so beautiful, and where do you get your football brain power from?" Boy, Coach T, boy, look.
Um. Well, I would like to think I always look beautiful, and thank you for the compliment. Just the love of the game. Like I would be watching a game, and I used to watch Sports Center, ESPN, like everything. And then when I became a 49er fan, all the podcasts. I watch podcasts, YouTube channels, more than one. and I would hear them say stuff, and I didn't know what they were talking about. And it was like the whole Colin Kaepernick, he can't go through progressions. I was like, well, what are progressions? So I went and studied it and researched it, and because I love it, it's just a passion, and I want to
Mm.
understand what I see on the field. So it's just a passion for football. I love the sport. If I was born a man, I would be a football player. I'll tell you that much.
There
That's
she
how much I
goes.
love the game. Like when I was little, I was going to play football. You couldn't tell me no different. And it's just like one day I realized, there ain't no women on the field. Dang it. But yeah, I would have played the sport. If they would let me in now, I probably would have played now.
And, the women's football is a little different, but they run by the same rules and everything. But it probably like you probably wouldn't feel the same about it though.
No, I wouldn't.
Uh,
No. But I love the game. I
mm,
love the game. Just the sheer energy. The football is one of the sports where you can go through all emotions in one game from the first 4 quarters. Happy, sad, in
yeah,
tears,
yeah,
angry, hitting your TV. I just love it.
true. Panama Queen has a question. She wants to know:
Hey,
would
Panama.
you go after Brandon Graham or Flowers to complete our edge needs? And by the way, PQ, she did say Trey Flowers,
Yeah,
but go
Flowers.
ahead.
I went one. I decided to do one DE in free agency, and then hopefully to draft one. I don't think we got to my drafts, but I had Nick Bosa. Of course, if we can't get Nick Bosa, I will take
Mm.
Josh Allen.
Wait on that one.
Um,
Wait on that one.
yeah,
We'll get to that in a
but
second. All right, but let's get graphic kicks. He says, "Why no free agent corners?"
um, because I ranked our what we needed, and I had a list, and I thought that we could get corners through the draft. Because when I looked at everything, it was like you had Anthony Barr out there. He's a linebacker. I wanted him. But you can't bring in too many free agents. We got to sign Buckner. So it was like a balance. Of, who do I want more? And I knew that I wanted to draft the defensive end. I knew I wanted one in free agency. I knew we needed linebacker help, especially since we lost Reuben Foster. If we didn't lose Reuben Foster and still had him, then maybe I would have went cornerback in free agency. But I feel like we needed another one, and Anthony Barr is up, and why not go after him? And then so I didn't decide to do cornerback. I figured we could get in the draft. We still got Richard. We still got Akello. I know he didn't look like a lot, but with the defensive help we're getting, I don't really feel like he was put in the best possible situation to succeed. I felt like he was on an island. I felt like if we had to put more help, more heavy on that side, especially when we seen that nobody was throwing at Richard for real.
Yeah.
So leave Richard on the island, make them target Richard. Like we paying him, make them target him. Put
Mm-hmm.
some help over there with the Kello because he's a rookie. This is only his second season. He's not seasoned. This is a new defense. So I feel like he got the short hand of the stick. So I figured
Mm.
we can go and draft. I think he'll be better. His third year going in. I think he should be fine. And I'm
It could
hoping
have
with
been.
the pass rush,
Yeah.
like it's not going to be an issue. Like
Thank you.
I'm
There it
hoping when the
is.
quarterback throw it up, because we are. I mean, we've seen a kilo intercept a ball before. I'm hoping that the rush will help secure the cornerbacks in the back
Mm.
end.
So true. That's well researched because if you got pressure, and especially in this particular defense, you've got to have pressure off the edge. Though you cannot allow that quarterback to move around in that pocket. He's got to be scared. He's got to stand there and make the
Right.
decision. When he steps up in that pocket, Buckler should be waiting for him. It all has to work in sync. If he's
Together.
got
You
plenty of
can't
time
give a
coming off the edge,
quarterback
yeah,
all that time to throw on a primarily zone defense,
yeah.
like because they're gonna pick them apart. If they're any good, they're gonna pick that defense apart.
Mm-hmm.
And if you got good receivers who know how to find those cushions in the zone, it's like it's money every time. So you got to have pressure so those receivers don't have time to get to that cushion. Everything is rushed. I mean, it's 6 seconds of chaos between the snap. And your
Mm-hmm.
goal is, especially on the defensive side, is to cause as much chaos as you can to where if you can't at least confuse the quarterback, don't allow those receivers to hit those cushions in the zone.
Mm-hmm.
Let them be a
That's
step behind. Make the ball come too early.
there you go.
That's how you get your
There you
interceptions.
go.
That's how you get them frustrated. That's how you get
Yeah.
in their heads.
That's what ask Bill Belichick and ask Jared Goff about that kind of pressure.
Yeah,
Jared's
bless his
still
heart.
screaming in the middle of the night. Oh God, here they come! Oh,
They come.
we're out. Okay. And one more question before we go to the draft. Chris Quarles says, would you let Robbie Gould walk if we could sign former Falcons kicker Matt Bryant?
I would let him walk before. I know it's gonna sound bad. I would let him walk before I franchise tag him. Like I
Oh.
don't. I wouldn't use a franchise tag on a kicker. I'm sorry. I mean, it's not. I mean, kicker is important, but it's not
Mm,
one of those positions that you put a franchise tag on. And if he don't
mm,
want to be here that bad to where he wouldn't
yeah.
sign a great deal, then
Yeah.
just let him walk because we don't want him. Kicking is all mine. Like I heard, give a shout out to another podcast, not Bananas, but he made
Mm,
me realize something that kicking is mental. That's why they
mm,
ice them before a game winning kick. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Yeah, we're
mm,
gonna call it a timeout. They go ahead and let them know they iced them for a reason because it's all mental. And if I don't want him here, if he's not in a mental capacity to be here, because then he not gonna kick good anyway. So
mm.
I wouldn't franchise tag him. I would give him the best deal possible. If he still wanted to walk, then I'll be open to sign the next best kicker. I don't know who that is. This week I didn't have time to research kickers, but I mean, and then I have a talk with my offense. Hey, Kittle, Garoppolo, most all y'all, Kennan. We cannot leave our games in the hand of the kickers. Y'all gonna have to be playmakers. I mean, because we relied on our kicker for a while. It's
All
time to
last
grow up,
2 years.
grow up or get out. So
I know. You're probably talking, it's probably Gostowski, because Belichick is thinking the same way you are. He does not want to tag Steven. And he's probably the number one option. Guys can kick in any kind of
um,
weather. If you can kick in New England, you can
yeah.
kick anywhere, right?
You can kick
So,
anywhere. We'll take
yeah,
him then.
yeah,
Or
but
we be look, or we'll be going for two all the time.
yeah, but Belichick is probably going to finally come to his senses and at least come up with a good offer. Matt Bryant
Hopefully.
is one of the best in the league. The problem with Matt is he'll be 44 next year. He missed 3 games last year due to hamstring and back issues. You got to worry about kickers once they get past that 40 point because then the injuries start. And if
True.
we lost the kicker for 3 games, because I agree, Matt Bryant is straight money if you can keep him on the field. The Jets kicker last year that used to be terrible. You can look into those guys a little later though. Let's go ahead and get to your draft and
Yeah.
see what fun we got in
Uh,
that.
so for draft number one, of course, I want Nick Bosa, um, defensive end. If we couldn't get him or if he wasn't there, I wouldn't mind taking Josh Allen. I mean, though, I feel like those are two positions, those two players. If you have a chance to get them, I thought about trading back and picking up other players, but I feel like between those two, one of those is going to be a star. So I don't want to pass on them. I think that's a
Mm,
once in a life opportunity. If you have the opportunity, because we're picking two. Not that we want to do that every year, but since we're there, why not? So I
mm,
would get Nick Bosa or Josh Allen.
mm.
Number two, wide receiver, DK Metcalf. I wouldn't watch his highlights because I know everybody's talking
Oh,
about him. That boy is sick. I think one time he caught a ball around a defender's helmet. Like he had the ball and the defender all wrapped up at the same time. They was like, "Are we gonna give it to him?" They was like, "Yeah, they're gonna give it to him." He caught both of them, and I think he's great. If I couldn't get him, then I would go for who did I have? I think his last name is Lodge. He plays on the same team with Ole Miss. He actually didn't do that bad. He still had 877 receiving yards, but he played with AJ and DK. So
oh,
I mean,
you,
Demarcus is it Demarcus? I can't remember.
no,
Let me see who is it.
your alternative second round alternative is Julian Love, cornerback.
Yeah, because it changes the position. But I was saying wide receiver wise.
Yeah, other
Yeah,
wide receiver.
I would
Yeah,
get Julie.
yeah.
Yeah, I would get him. But if he wasn't there, because he's not projected to be there, but let's hope he do. Hope all these other teams get quarterback happy and start trading up and he falls. But I would take Julian Love. That's a cornerback because we do need cornerback help. Three, I did Rock Yastin, cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then
Your alternative pick.
fourth, oh, my alternative third pick, that was Adderley.
Yeah.
Yashir
Oh,
Adderley.
yeah.
Yes,
Everybody's
I
talking
read
about
up on.
him.
Yeah, I read up on him. He looks like he would be a great addition. So either or. And then four, it would be safety Mike Bell because he will be available in the fourth round. Is the best possible available. Of course, his other safeties better than fall, then great. I can't remember what my
Alternative pick.
alternative to him
Yeah,
was.
yeah, that's your. No, you know what? There's your fourth round. You were going after wide receiver Demarcus Lodge.
Yeah, that's my wide receiver. Yeah, Demarcus Lawrence. He's projected to fall there, so if he does, that would be my backup if we had to change our draft pick because I feel like 877 yards and you played with both of those receivers on your team. I feel like, and I went and watched his highlights. He's not bad. I mean, he's 6'2". He will give us that. If we
Big
did
guy.
get inside the red zone, he would give us that big target. I'm pretty sure if Kittle can't get it, if we have another big target, I think Jimmy Garoppolo. He just needs somebody there to show him their numbers,
Yeah.
and can get open. So that's why I picked him. And then I don't think we have a fifth round pick. And then we got two
No.
in the sixth. Um, and then I picked Keaton Sutherland, which he's a guard, and then my backup to him would be Alex Bars because he's a guard and an offensive tackle. Probably would translate to being a guard because of his size, but he could actually play both. So just depending on what we need. I mean, for whatever reason, players tend to bulk up anyway once they get to the NFL because they be under the team and have access to those strength and conditioning coaches. So I feel like drafting him would be good because then we have a guard and a possible tackle because he can play both positions. I'm like the
Yeah.
coach's staff. I like players that can play multiple positions because
Yeah.
it increases your value.
Yeah, Jimmy Tom Sula used to be famous for making sure everybody can play more than one position on the line on defense. An offensive lineman,
Yes.
I usually and every year we seem to have a guy that can play guard and center. So,
Mm-hmm.
and the way Weston Richburg is getting hurt every 5 minutes, we definitely need a
Well, hopefully our
guard
strength and
center.
coach can help him with that.
God, Weston,
Get that boy some milk.
extra milk too. Put a half a container of protein in it. He's got to get stronger. All
He
right.
got to.
We're gonna go down. Let me go down through her picks now. Deanna says she wants to get Nick Bosa as her first round pick, and the second overall pick, of course. If that doesn't happen, Josh Allen, of course, they can't take everybody. She's right. One of them's gonna be there no matter what. In the second round, DK. Yeah, everybody on the chat said DK ain't gonna be there in the second round. But listen,
Hey,
you,
look, we don't know.
yeah.
There's so many possibilities with this draft. You never know. If he's there, then you got to take him. If he's not, that's why I had a backup. I'm hoping
And
he's there.
And honestly, DeAndre, you're probably onto something because here's the thing: people need defense like crazy. The prime
Hmm.
stock is going to be defensive ends. All those can see it right now because there's such an abundance of talented defensive ends this year. They're going to be the ones. And then, of
You know what
course,
else? One of them other
Greeny's got to
teams that was
go.
thinking about getting DK, get OBJ or AB. Let them get them and let us get DK.
You know. And also, and there's Hakeem Butler. Everybody's crazy about him. You
Hmm.
also got Hollywood Brown is out there. The other guy from there's a guy. The number one pick is actually I think he's from Ole Miss as well. But anyway,
Yeah, I think
there's
it's AJ Brown or something.
it's
Something
something like that.
AJ. He's
Yeah.
another initial guy, but yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. DK he'd be right at the top of the second if he doesn't get out of the first round, but he won't go early in the first round. I'm thinking, So
I hope
yeah.
not.
Wouldn't it be nice if we just go ahead and trade back into the first round? We don't need a second round pick. Just go ahead and get DK. I want to
That would be
see
awesome.
that beast released in a 49er uniform
That
so
would.
bad. Oh my God, that
Could you
dude
imagine
is.
him in the red zone? Ooh, that boy make all kind of catches, like his back shoulder catch. That's so
Thing
crazy.
is, I could see the flag on whatever number DK is. Unnecessary roughness. What? Ref! He's on offense. I know, but the way he knocked
Right.
that boy down there, that's got to be a flag. He
Gotta be.
bumped off a DK. It's not his fault. Make it a third round.
I would love to
Third,
have him.
and also her alternative pick on that quarterback, Julian Love. Third round
Hmm.
pick, cornerback Rock Yassin. And alternative pick will be Nasser, everybody's favorite safety in this draft, Adderley. Fourth round pick, Mike Bell, defensive back. Alternative pick will be wide receiver DeMarcus Lodge. Sixth round pick will be offensive guard Keaton Sutherland. And also we get two sixth-round picks. So Alex Barr, he will also be picked up in the sixth round. All right. I
Try
like
to
the
address
draft.
every need.
Yeah, I think so. And in
Yeah.
fact, you did, because like we were talking about
Yeah.
earlier, we don't need running backs. We don't need a few things, but wide receivers, defensive line. Uh, Defensive line, I think, from what I can see, you're going to address that in the draft as much as possible, aren't you?
Hmm.
Other than the defensive end. Actually, no, you did. Defensive end, Nick Bosa, Josh Allen. The rest of the defensive line doesn't really need all that much help, does it? I don't think so either.
I don't think so. I think we'll be fine. We still, if we get, like I said, if we get Anthony Barr, we got Fred Warner,
Hmm.
um, and what is it, Michael Smith? I can't remember. Yeah. Um, I think we'll be fine because with the defensive edge, we could blitz our linebackers. I mean, we could do a lot more, and then that way we could have Fred free to fly. I want to see Fred fly this year. Like I
Hmm.
know he had a whole bunch of tackles, but I just want to see him just be let loose. So I think we'll be fine. I
Hmm.
think we'll be fine. We
All
just
right.
need, I saw edge. When every time I would watch, I was like, it takes forever. And then when they would get to the quarterback, because it took so long, either they would miss or because we only if one of them did, because I would like to have one on each side, they
Hmm.
would just flush out,
Hmm.
go left or right, opposite of
Ah.
wherever the pressure was coming. Especially when we play
Oh.
like God, the Seahawks.
Oh.
You already know.
That's
You
so
already know
annoying.
Russell Wilson. It don't matter. You need to bend. You need to full bend and make him step up in the pocket so he can't run all over the place.
Hmm.
You need the
You,
defense to bend around him.
it's amazing though. There are certain people. You know who used to have Rusty's number? Alden Smith used to have his number really badly, and also Aaron Lynch used to love to play Rusty. He'd grab his little
Hmm.
butt every game. And Aaron's not that fast, but it's the angle you take, knowing how
Hmm.
he works, and cut his little butt off. That's pretty much what they did
Yeah.
every time. So yeah.
I hope we cut him off more this year.
Right. So, tell you what, Adrian Gutierrez has a question for you, Theodore. He says, if we can get
Hey,
Antonio
Adrian.
Brown, or would she go after Golden Tate? Yeah, he said, if we
Uh,
can't get AB, would you go after Golden Tate?
Probably not. Um, I limited it myself to three free agents. I probably wouldn't. I mean, I would have to look, but probably not because I don't. It's just I'm that confident in our offense and what we have uh, so far. I would rather draft somebody and just build them up because I think Kyle can use anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably wouldn't. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if we could get him really cheap,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be open to it, as long as it didn't affect us signing Buckner or. But it wouldn't be something that would be like number one
Priority
on my
one,
board.
high priority,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah,
yeah, it
Adrian,
wouldn't be high priority.
yeah, and she's looking at she's thinking if we're that close, and all it would take to get us is a wide receiver to get us over the edge. Yeah, you go after
Right,
your
I would go all
ABs.
out,
Yeah,
but I just don't feel like
yeah.
I don't feel like it
That's
would be enough.
yeah. Because you know what, I still have a feeling about Dante Pettis. I
I do
kind
too.
of
I like him.
yeah.
I watched him like he makes me dizzy. I don't if a defensive or a cornerback if you watch his legs you'll be lost. Like I don't know what his legs be doing, but I've watched just his legs alone and
It's
I don't
crazy.
know. I'm surprised he don't fall.
I know that's the thing, and he said something about people have been teasing about that all his life, right? But one thing Pettis can do that's really freaky, you know, as I haven't played cornerback, you don't usually watch the leg movement. You know, usually
Uh-huh.
in some things you watch the upper body, but you watch the leg movement when you're running with the receiver downfield. Uh, Dante could do things like he'd dip to his left. Now, you should only be able to go down so far. I've watched Dante closely. Do you know when he does that step to the left or right, when he's faking the
Mhm.
defender, his hips drop all the way down, almost to the ground. He springs up and goes either left or right, but you have no idea which way he's going.
Which way? It's
I
like
have,
by the time you realize where he went,
it's too late.
it's too late.
He's
He's already
gone.
done caught the ball. Like so, I like him. I'm pretty
It's
confident
a
in
freakish move.
yeah. I can't
Man,
wait to see him this year.
He's got to get stronger. That's the
He's
thing.
got to.
Yeah. Uh, Graphic Kicks wants to know who's your starting free safety because we got a lot of free safety candidates coming up, and yeah, you're going to bring in Nasser Adderley as well, and Earl Thomas. That's two more to about three or four others we already got.
Um, well, of course, if we got um Earl, I will start Earl. Did I bring my free safety list here?
While you're looking for that,
No,
hold on. I just want to
but
mention too, you can call in. The pin numbers in the app right now if you want to call in and address a question as well. All right. Go
yeah,
ahead.
I would like to see them battle it out in camp too, because I do know we got a lot of safety. Some of them could play, free safety and um, single safety, but I would like to see them battle it out. But I would start Earl just because he's a veteran. Do we still got? Is it Tart? What does Tart
Yeah,
play?
Kowalski T. Well, we still got Kowalski
Yeah,
T.
we still got Kwaski. Now we are paying him. I would like to start him, but I wouldn't give it to him. Like I would let them battle it out, because I mean, he got hurt. I'm hoping he could stay healthy this year. That's my only thing. So I would start him, if he could stay healthy. But if not, I'll let him battle it out. Who wants it more? Because we got and the only reason why we have all that, those extra safeties is because we had problems with health, people staying healthy. And if we could just stay healthy, I think we could have done a lot better this year if we had health on our side. So I'll probably start. I would give. He will have to earn it though.
I
You have
agree.
to earn it.
I agree.
You have to
The
earn it.
nice thing about Kowalski is he can play both the box and over the top safety. And there's some questions about
Uh
whether
huh.
Kowalski plays in the box or the the safety spot, the over the top safety. But we got the new kid down in the box now. I'm wondering if indeed, what is his name? We just picked him up last year. The kid that had the started the season out with a hurt leg, and all of a sudden he came in about week 8. Oh,
Um,
Harris, Marcel
that's what
Harris.
Harris,
Yeah,
Marcel.
I'm wondering is
Yeah, that's why I
Marcel
said I let
Harris?
him battle it out. Like, who's
Yeah,
hungry? Who wants it more? Like,
yeah. So we'll see about
and
that.
then we might, if he proved to be better, then guess what? There's some more money we can play. Uh, like, see ya.
All right. And now, okay, Sheik's question is, hold up a minute. You don't want Mr. Big Chess for a third pick? I don't want any more
Who?
projects. This is come on, Sheik. She already picked him. Sheik, DK's in the draft second round. Mr. Big Chess. Wait a minute, for a third pick. Wait a minute, Mr. Big Chess, AB?
Who?
I guess
I
he's talking about
mean,
AB for a third pick. You mean for a free agent pickup? I guess.
if they gonna give him away for third pick, but what he already talking like, whoever give me got to give me guaranteed money. Like,
I
man,
know.
I ain't got time for all
He
that.
wasn't talking that. He wasn't talking that way when him and Jerry were running around chumming up.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't have time for that. Like, it's not about you. I get it. You are great at what you do. I get that. But I like what we're building over here. Like, we're trying to build a championship. We ain't trying to go to the Super Bowl, get number 6, and be done. No, we trying to, repeat and three-peat. So
Yeah,
I need somebody
Belichick
who's going to
style.
be all about the team. It might be a year, it might be a game where you don't get the ball. And I need you to be okay with that. I need you to be happy if Dante gets all the targets and he catches all of them. Like, be happy for him. Like, I know, they have all the diva in them, but I don't have time for that. Like, I'm over it and done. That's like my number one pet peeve. It's not all about you. Because at the end of the day, when you do have bad games, we need these guys to step it up. So don't get mad if you don't get the ball.
There you go. And Sheik adds the unnecessary comment of, "You and Panama Queen just want to see DK with his shirt off." See, this is the thing,
Look,
you
it's not that deep. It really ain't. Like, I could care less. Shirt on, shirt off. It don't matter to me. If you play
it's
ball, you
performance on the
play
field.
ball. Look, it could be a defensive lineman who got a big old belly, or offensive lineman who got a big belly. If he out there handling his thing in the trenches, like, I appreciate the gut too. Like,
There
it
you
ain't
go.
all about that either.
There you go,
Like,
Sheik.
as long as
Brunel
he can play, I
Jacobs.
don't care.
There you go. Brunel Jacobs wants to know, do you think we will have enough money to sign Anthony Barr, Landon Collins, or Tyron Matthew for the safety position and Dante Fowler? Brunel, you almost answered your own question. You see how many names you got there? Ain't no
Yeah,
team. Go ahead, though, Theater.
I don't think so. No, because what's the cap this year? What 190 million, and
So that
we
we're over the we have 70 around 70 million to
70.
spend. Yeah.
I don't think so
Yeah.
because what I want to do is pretty much front load as many of the contracts that I can, um, and signing bonuses because we do have so much cap space, and get all their guaranteed money out the way. So within the first 2 years, no more than 3 years, the ones that we're signing for 5 years, so that we can open it up. Because hopefully by then, like we're not trying to get like everybody in here just so we can go. We still need to develop the talent that we got. So some of these guys are just stopgap guys until we can get our team the experience that they need because we got so many rookies. I mean, we got so many people on team that we didn't get a chance to see them play until this year due to all the injuries. So if we can have these stopgap players, get them in here, get them signed, front load to contracts, 2 or 3 years, help build up the talent that we're drafting. So by the time that they contracts fall off, we don't have
Kids
to be
roll
out
right
here,
in. Yeah.
yeah, free agent hunting every year trying to
Ah,
to fill. We have to do it now because we have so many rookies and we have so many holes. But that's not the plan. Just to keep bringing in free agent after free agent. We get a couple in here, a couple of veterans that's familiar with the 4-3. Let these young players play behind them. Let them see what they do. You know, and let them lead by example, and then we groom the next generation so when the time comes, now they're ready. When they're ready, we can sign them because they've already played with the team, they've been
yeah.
here 2 or 3 years, they already know they're ready to go. So if we're going to be signing contracts, let's sign who we got in house.
I
So
like
that's
that.
that's my goal. I want to build in house. I want to give contracts in house. I don't want to always have to go to the free agents
And overpay for a free
and
agent that may not
overpay.
even fit the program. And the Rams are finding out that does not work. So, next year, it's going to be interesting to see how the Rams, because the Rams are going to lose about three of those guys minimum. And
Right.
if they want to, they can re up Mark Peters, but will they? So, I mean, Talib is probably on his last year. He'll get hurt a lot next year. Ndamukong Suh is out of there. So, you see, you start signing mercenaries, paying too much money. You get to the Super Bowl and you
Hmm.
score 3 points. Again, like you said
Right.
about wide receivers, what happened to Brandon Cooks? You know, I mean,
Right. What happened to him?
whoa.
Well, he
So
couldn't do nothing if he can't get the ball. So I
yeah,
mean, it's yeah. I feel like we should, because we've had 2 losing seasons. I get it. We want
yeah.
to see W's in the column, but you got to realize, this talent is getting experience, and we're building a true championship team. We already know our team can overcome adversity. I seen one of the sports commentators. He made me mad too. I was wanting to call in. He was like, "I can't believe I would be worried about what's going on over in San Francisco because you lost this game. You're 4-12, but they're over there on the sideline. They're cheering and they're excited because Kittle got the record." And he was like, "Who cares about the record when you're a 4-12 team? Who cares about the record when you're losing? You still lost the game." And I was like, "Because you don't understand what we're building over here. This is what
Mm,
build champions." You know what I'm saying? Like
mm,
every year, even the years that you're not going to the Super Bowl, the years that you're not winning, like still you got something to look forward to. That's what build champions. Like, yeah, we losing, but if we can get my boy Kittle the record, let's get him the record.
mm,
Now he's in the books, and guess who he is? He's a Niner baby, another one
mm.
in the book. So
There you go. There you go.
that's what we're
And,
doing. We're trying to build this team. So let
and
us
it's about the
build.
camaraderie. You're right, so right there.
Yeah, it's
It's
about
about
the
the camaraderie.
camaraderie.
These small victories now, or it's okay to celebrate them. There's nothing wrong with that.
Let them.
If we just came from the
Let
Super
them
Bowl last
celebrate.
year and that happened, okay, we're out of line for over appreciating such a move. But we are not at that level, and we're not at that point. But we
We're
soon
building
probably will
confidence.
be. So you can
Yes,
appreciate the
every
hot
time.
moments. Dang right.
Yeah,
Tell that
let them
newsman to
have it.
step off.
It's gonna be
Anyway,
just as sweet. It's gonna be so much sweeter,
uh,
And they're holding
world
the Lombardi. So
World Dome, it says that World Dome. World Dome Logan says, "What are your thoughts on Albert Oh, come on, world. What? Oh, okay. Oak Woo Glonum. Oak Woo Glonum? And
I don't even know who that
you
is.
draft him in the third round, and where is the love for Hakeem Butler? What? Her third round pick was who? Is that the name we couldn't figure out? Or is that the name we cut?
That was the name we cut. Because in the third round, I got cornerback Rock Yasin, and then if he wasn't available, third round was Nasir Adderley.
Yeah.
Because I was
Well, no,
trying to see who would be available,
yeah,
during
she
that
never
time.
went there.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but I never went there. I was like,
He
let me
does
see.
like he wants to know about Hakeem, but Hakeem Butler is the people's choice these days, next to DK. And Hollywood Brown gets a little bit love from a lot of 49er fans, but Hakeem and DK have got to be either neck and neck, or one may have a slight edge. How do you feel about Hakeem?
Um, I haven't actually watched. Now I've read his profile. I actually haven't watched his highlights. But reading his profile, I mean, he sounds like a good receiver. Um, but I mean, he's fine. I'll be open to him. I was trying to be realistic of who's going to be available in the round that we have our pick in. So
Right.
I was trying to keep it, because of course I would have picked them. There was a lot of players above Rock Yasin or well, not Nasir Ali because he was like one of my favorites, but above him. But in the third round, would he, be there? So I tried to look at who is projected to be in the third round during that time. Of course, if it changes, I always opted to go with the best player, but I just chose the best player that I felt that would be available in that round at that time.
Yeah. And I mean, also Hakeem Butler. I don't. The critics say he has a potential to go as an undrafted free agent, but I'm not sure why they say that. I didn't because I don't watch college football closely,
I
but
don't either. I don't have time
yeah,
to watch it on
what
Saturdays. And there was
school
so
does he
many
go
receivers. I
to?
tried to look at as many as I could. I mean, but it's so many players in the draft, like
Yeah, I know. See,
so
that's
many. If I had time to do a full board like the GM do, then I
yeah.
would. But I only could do like, one pick and then my alternative. So
Theodore, you know what's going to happen next week after the combine? Watch stock
everything
falsely
gonna change.
fly up. Yeah,
That's why I was
it's like
like,
Solomon Thomas fooled a lot of people after that combine.
he
I wasn't
did.
fooled. I said, you know what,
He
y'all, please don't
did.
tell me we're getting. Solomon Thomas had a following. I was arguing with him every day. So, we ended up with Solomon T. Well, we'll see. I hope Solomon T does well this year because he is a 49er, whether we like him or not, or whether I like him
Right?
or not.
And I'm gonna root for him as long as he
Yes.
wearing the numbers, I'll root for him. But as soon as they cut him, there's no love lost. Like,
Oh, okay. Oko Wagunum, he's a sophomore. He's 6'5", 265.
is he going to be in the draft this year
His
as a
status
sophomore?
is out. I wonder why. He's a tight end. He's a tight. You know what? If it's a tight end you talk about, you want to go to Iowa for your tight end anyway. Hawkinson and Font. Font doesn't like to block. Hawkinson likes to block and if we could get Hawkinson and Font, I'd be delighted. Woo, man! George Kittle would have his running bait. They'd be ruling out there. Two dual-sided
It'll be thick.
sets.
It was like
Oh,
number one. Who?
oh God. Yeah. Anyway, oh,
But
let
yeah,
me
I
give
didn't
you
watch
another.
tight ends either.
Yeah, there's tight ends. There's some great tight ends. There were some good tight ends last year, but I always seem to corner the market on the best. Something my guy says, if no Earl, any draft favorites to take that other place. Yeah. Something my guy, yeah, go ahead and tell him about Nasser and whoever else you want
Yeah.
to.
Definitely, I would draft Nasser Adderley, a safety. If I can remember correct, because you read so much, so
Yeah,
many
no.
players, but I think what I had about him was okay. Yeah, he had 9 interceptions in 2 seasons. He can make plays down the field and on the ball. So that means those receivers running deep. He's one of those guys that can, and I want somebody that can make play on the ball. There was so many times it was like, oh my God, you got hit in the back of the head with the football because you weren't turned around. So just the fact that he plays the football made me excited because I want interceptions. I want our defense to put points on the board. You remember back in the day when your defense scored points? Then I
Yeah.
remember when your
And
defense
cause
actually
turnovers.
you
Yeah.
right. When the last time our defense scored a points?
We did. I
That's what
don't
I
think we.
want.
Oh, wait. Exum. He's the only one. right?
I think he had an interception. Was it a pick
This
six?
is a pick six.
Yeah, it was a pick six.
Yeah,
That's what I want.
that was the
I want
only thing we had from our defense last.
that's
I think we
it.
recovered a couple of
That's
fumbles, maybe.
yeah. But not. But you know how many of them we didn't get because nobody was around the ball, because nobody was paying attention to the ball, because nobody was looking at the ball.
Weren't
It's like
stripping.
So I was
God.
excited for him for that alone. And that's why I put in that's what we need. We need somebody who's gonna play the ball, but we also need somebody who can stick with these receivers downfield. You know, stride for stride. And if
Playmakers,
right
defensive
playmakers, and if
playmakers.
if
Yeah.
it's a 50-50 ball, then I need them to be able to play the ball, and
Mm.
that's a skill that he has. So because he's gonna get tested. I mean, you're gonna get tested, but I need you to be able to play the ball. So worst case
Yeah.
scenario, if I am running down the field, I'm step for step. Even if you got to step over me,
Mm.
you need to have some type of ball location skills. Look up and track the ball with the receiver. Like
Yes. God.
multitask. And I know
Otherwise,
it's easier said than done,
yeah, I know, but
but that's what I
but
want
otherwise, you have to be able to do that or sit down because otherwise, the quarterback's going to go that way every time.
every
That's why they
time.
didn't throw. Why throw at Richard Sherman, knowing he knows what he's doing, when you have the other guy on the other side of the field that's having a little
Somebody
bit of
else,
a
right?
problem? Keep
And there was
going
a
at
couple
him.
times he got beat. Richard Sherman. Sherman. I think he made it for one play. I don't know how he hawked that dude down, but
Tariq Hill,
if you have the
right?
knowledge and the instincts, you can make up for speed.
Yeah.
Um,
And
so
I've never Tariq Hill, Sherm went and got him after he got just to show you how good Sherman is. He went and took that ball away from Tariq Hill in the end zone. I said,
mhm. Just
that's
and
why he
even in
gets paid the big
the Super
bucks.
Bowl, it was one of those. I don't know what position it was, but even in the Super Bowl, you remember that corner that came all the way back to the end zone and broke up the pass. Like
Oh, that was
I need somebody who can hustle.
yeah,
Like
that was one of the twins. I forget their names.
he was out of position, but it didn't matter. Like
Yeah.
because he recognized he had some ball locations. Like just look up.
God,
Like
he was. And you know what? The thing is about golf, he was late. That ball, because
yeah,
that
he
defender,
was
the receiver had been there for a little longer. Golf didn't notice until the last second.
a long
So
time. He had enough time to get down there, turn around, and face the quarterback. So he was open a
again,
long time.
the defense was just killing
Yeah,
him. Graphic Kicks wants to
killing him.
know, what do you think about Chris Lindstrom? Because we need guard help.
I think I did see the name. I know we need guard. Um, that's why I had did Sutherland as a guard and Alex Bars as a guard
Yeah.
in the sixth round. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't even look at guards above the sixth round who were projected to go above the sixth round. The
No.
sixth round, because I knew that's where we was drafting at, and so I looked at what would be available. But I'm always open to go check them out. Like I said, so many players in the draft, and you know,
Yeah.
y'all can hit me up. Uh, my email me and let me know some players y'all want me to look at. I'll be happy to. Ronbo, you got my email address,
All
theundreg at
right.
yahoo.com. Just email me who you like, and I love football. I'll go look them up. Like
The Alabama guard is good. There's a few guys in the early rounds, but you have to wonder if the 49ers are going to go early round on this one. Like we mentioned
they
earlier,
did
it's
McGlinchey.
about it takes an offensive line a minute to gel. If you keep on shifting players every year, it's going to add to the time it takes for that team, that offensive line to become efficient because they've got to get to know each other, know how they move. This is why at the end of the year, McGlinchey says, well, we're just glad that we all got to work an entire year together. What I would
Right.
like to see, McGlinchey's right. What I would like to see, though, I like Joshua Garnett from what I've seen. He's been with the team for long enough now to know what
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan's doing. But what I like is what I saw from him in that last game against the Rams, where Aaron Donald was upset.
I mean,
Whoa.
he was mad. Did he like push him or hit him or something?
Yeah, he smacked Joshua in the
He did.
face.
He
He
did. And
said,
he didn't do nothing. He was just like,
Joshua
that's all
threw his
right.
arms
I'll see
and
you
the
next
ref was
play.
standing right there, remember?
Right
And the
there.
ref didn't even
I'll
throw
see
his
you
flag.
next play.
That's Aaron Donald that hit you in the face. That's okay.
Right.
What?
He didn't care. He was like, I'll see you next play, my boy.
So
It's all right.
if he could just stay healthy, Garnett, we already know that he can run block. If he could
Mm-hmm.
protect, that's the thing. If you could protect and make Aaron Donald mad, you may be on your way. So I do want to see Staley, Thomason, Westberg, uh, Garnett, and of course McGlinchey again next year. They will be
Right.
a year
That's
older
why I didn't draft
together.
nobody high up. I
Yeah.
want to keep them together. Like I want to see year two, keep them together as much as we can. If you do draft, that's why I chose to draft some guards in the 6th round because they could be around that whole year, whole training camp. They can be around that whole year, watch them play, and bring them in slowly.
Yep.
There was a
Yep.
couple of guards that could start, like they were NFL ready to start, but they had them projecting to go in like as early as the 1st round
Yep.
and the second. And I just couldn't see myself spending a first or a second on an offensive lineman when I felt like our did okay. Like I'm not saying we don't need to improve there, but we need edge rush. To me,
Hey,
edge rush was number one.
the thing is, we had one of the best running attacks, and if anybody was paying attention, when the 49ers fell out into formation and start blocking out in space, it was a thing of beauty that offensive line was doing. Ask Raheem Mostert, ask
Mm-hmm.
Matty B, ask Jeff Wilson. Does he like that offensive line? See, because Kyle Shanahan's offense is predicated off that run anyway. So Jimmy
Right.
G is not going to stand back there all day throwing the ball. That's
No,
why
he's not.
Kyle
He's
looks at it
not.
that way. Yeah. So I know
And
what he's doing.
don't think just because
Yeah.
Kyle went to the Super Bowl, yeah, he was watching to see what Bill Belichick done to the Rams defense, but you best believe he was checking out the offense as well. Their offense as well. I don't know if anybody paid attention, but the very first play in the Super Bowl, they had two running backs, Gronk out on one side. Now Gronk on the line, Edelman, and then the other receiver out wide, and they ran the ball. He got like 10 yards first down. They came back to that same play like in the fourth quarter. The only difference was instead of Gronk staying on the line to block, he shed his block, and that's when
Made that
uh
play.
yeah, he threw the ball and he made that play. But
Yeah.
it was from the same set, and that's what Kyle do. Like his plays set up other plays
Yeah.
that uh not touchdown when they got inside the red zone when he threw it to Gronk, running down the field.
Yep.
Then it looked like you remember that play when Juice was 20 yards down the field
Yep.
and he caught the ball. It was like Juice, I was like, where Juice come from? Like I didn't even see him. And then they replayed it. He shared his block and ran downfield. So he's incorporating some of I call it a Shanny check. It's gonna
Yeah,
be
I
like,
know. That
Shannon
works.
and yeah, to help Garoppolo to keep him familiar with it, he'll be fine.
That's it. And like you're saying, and when because they do a lot of trap blocking. So what you got Gronk, what he did, Juice, same thing. First you force everything in the middle, and
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy G's rolling out of the pocket. He's looking downfield,
Mm-hmm.
and now Shed here busts down the field. Jimmy G's already on the page. All you got to do is get to the spot. Boom. It's
Yep, because the
almost
linebackers bit on
automatic.
it. They thought
Yeah.
it was a run play because they done that play in the first quarter. So when the
Secondaries.
linebackers bit, they
Yeah.
moved up, which left the middle open too. So they could have actually went back to that same play and
Absolutely.
hit
Secondaries
Edelman across the
retreating.
middle. But yeah, so it's like the
It's like,
same play, just different options. So yeah, he'll be fine.
yeah, it will. Uh, the last two questions. Christopher Gray wants to know: would you bring back? Oh, would you bring back Big Trent Brown for left tackle and move Staley to guard? Well, there's a question to ponder.
No, I wouldn't. I'm
She didn't
sorry.
even
I
wait.
know they're probably gonna eat me up in the chat, but no, I wouldn't because I feel like this. You were here. We asked you to do you to do because what we wanted you to play. We asked you to lose weight. We asked you to do all of these things. You didn't want to do it. You came in out of shape and then was upset because we didn't. I don't have time. Why would I take him back? And then you gonna come back with your Super Bowl ring? Like, oh yeah,
Oh,
I'm
can
a
you
Super
imagine?
Bowl winning offensive line. No,
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
I got it. Coach, I got a Super Bowl ready to prove that I know what I'm doing.
Right. Then you're
If
gonna
I
really
want
feel
to
like
eat,
you ain't
I'll
gotta
eat.
listen to what I gotta say.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Trent better not get like that. He will have trouble not only in San Francisco, but any place else. It wasn't all about him in that Super Bowl.
No, it
Last
wasn't. He don't
question.
fit what we do.
Yeah, true, because Trent's got to start. We do a
Mm-hmm.
lot of run blocking. Big Show wants to know, how are you confident with our offense when Kittle was the only one getting open, Brady injured week in, week out, and Kittle being our leading receiver? We had no one to show up. You know what? It's funny. I'm going
You
to let
know
you answer
how I'm
this, but
confident,
here's the
Big
thing. We're
Show?
going
You
to
want to know
address this
why I'm
in the
confident?
huddle, too. Go ahead.
Right. You don't want to know why I'm confident because we didn't even have our starting quarterback. We didn't have our
Thank you.
starting running back.
Thank
We
you.
was running with CJ and Mullins. Come on, man, Mullins,
Thank you.
undrafted. Like nobody knew who this dude was until we put him on the field. And yeah, and
Yes.
Kittle broke a record with three different quarterbacks. His second year, and he's coming back to for his third year. So you don't think he's going to improve? Even if he
Mm-hmm.
stay the same, he's
Mm-hmm.
still a record-breaking tight
Mm-hmm.
end.
Mm-hmm.
And then we still put up points. Like there
Mm-hmm.
are a few games where we struggle, but those were the ones that CJ Beathard was in and pretty much holding on to the ball too long. But if you look
Mm-hmm.
at the scores, it wasn't like we didn't score points. And I know some of
Mm-hmm.
them would say, well, some of those was points because they had a lead or whatever. Yeah, they had a lead because as soon as they get the ball, they gonna go and score. We bend and don't break. Looks like we just done a whole lot of bending.
Yeah.
But I'm confident. We didn't even see our full offense on the field
So true.
for real.
So
And
true.
we were still out there scoring points. You still had to give an account for it. And regardless of what you say, show, we beat the Raiders. Okay, I wanted that win
And
so
beat him to
bad.
death.
Like
And we
ain't
had
nothing we could say.
Garcon at
Like
least that night. Remember?
right, we beat the Raiders with a backup. Like
Yeah.
that's why I'm confident. We haven't even seen the full Kyle Shanahan offense, and just because of what you've seen with and we still got Dante Pettis. Our receivers aren't garbage.
No.
They can get open. We can score points. Scoring
Mm.
points is not our issue. It's
Mm.
stopping the other team.
Yes.
We're not built for a shootout. That's what it is. We can
No.
score points. We're just not built for a shootout. And I don't think getting OBJ or Antonio Brown still gonna make us be ready to have a shootout. I don't want to be a shootout team. I don't want to have to every time the defense get on team, we already know we got to score right behind them. I don't want that.
Also, Kyle, I'm gonna go over this tonight too. Kyle needed Jerick McKinnon more than some people realize. His whole offensive playbook was pretty much based on Jerick McKinnon's movements. You can do a lot of damage coming on the backfield. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I want to go with it, and that's what opens up lanes and avenues for the other wide receivers to work. George Kittle was a tight end, and in his movement, he's going to be open more often than not because the wide receivers are going to take away that inside. We'll go over that a little later. But
Yeah.
DeAndre,
Yeah.
I tell you what, good job. I mean, guys, go vote in the app. And
I
I
tried
tell
my
you
best.
what,
Thanks, guys.
yeah, there you go. You'll see the poll in there and tell us how you feel about the other. We hiring her to be the heir apparent to John Lynch. The way people are talking now, they're firing John Lynch this year anyway. Some people gave him this year and that's it. They don't
No,
know.
I give him one
Kyle,
more time.
the thing
It's
is,
hard being a GM.
it
Like
is.
it's
And
hard.
Lynch works for Kyle. People don't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Lynch is there because of Kyle. If Kyle wants Lynch gone, he's gone. If he doesn't, Lynch stays. Anyway, all right. Oh, and Denver, are you ready for the holla? You go. And hey, fam, don't forget to hit that like. Denver, I'm gonna count to 3,
Okay.
2, 1.
Niners!
Niners! We do a good duet. I like that. Thank you, Deandra.
Thank you, Ronbo. Thank you, Niner Empire. Y'all have a good night.